Hi and welcome back to Sumaya's English Classroom. If you're first time on my YouTube channel, welcome. Subscribe to my channel and enable the bell icon to get new videos. In this video, we are going to learn a new chapter from the first flight, Glimpses of India. In this chapter, there are three parts. We are going to deal with the first part, a baker from Goa. Before we start the chapter, let me ask, where are you living in our India? What's your opinion about your native place? Do you like that place? Where are you living in? Have you visited any tourist place? If so, which are they? Which are the most beautiful tourist place in India? When we are thinking about the beautiful destinations, tourist destination in India, we can't forget the place Goa. This Goa has a beautiful and richest tradition. Okay, it's all about related to baking. In this video, we are going to learn about baker from Goa. Okay, let's go to the video. Today, let's learn the chapter from Glimpses of India, Part 1, A Baker from Goa by Lucio Rodriguez. Okay, let's go into the chapter in detail. This chapter is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. What's the meaning of pen portrait? Yes, here the writer is giving a vivid description about a traditional Goan village baker. Okay, he is beautifully describing about this village baker. What was the important place of village baker, Goan village baker in the society? That is what described in this chapter. Let's go to the chapter. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. So our elders, the elders of these Goan villagers are often heard reminiscing nostalgically. Reminiscing nostalgically means thinking fondly of the past. They were very happy to recollect their memories. It was so sweet. As we all know, Goa was colonized by Portuguese. That's why they have got that tradition of baking from these Portuguese people. So, their elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically. They were thinking fondly of the past. What is it? That's all about the good old Portuguese days. And the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Portuguese were famous for their loaves of bread. Okay, they were very, very great baking bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still alive, still there. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. Okay, so they have used many things to bake this bread. So they were not there, but these makers are still there. So it is still there. That means after this Portuguese have gone from their Goa, these makers are still there. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces hasn't yet been extinguished. That means the bakers, actually the Portuguese left the place, but that tradition that was still there after they left. Okay, so that is what time tested furnaces still exist, means that tradition is there still in Goa after this Portuguese left Goa. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Okay, so the mixer that they have used to use for baking, making bread, that was still there. The molders and those who bake the laws that they are still there. They were still there. So the baking was still there. Everyone loves it. The thud and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. So the thud and jingle, okay, jingling sound, okay, the jingling sound of the traditional baker's bamboo. They were making sounds with this bamboo in their hands, then heralding. For what is it used? Heralding means announcing his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. So, still some were there who were making breads. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as pador in Goa. Okay, maybe the father is not alive, but that tradition has gone from generation to generation. So the son still carries on the family profession. Okay, it has become the family profession of Goan traditional villagers. These bakers are even today, they are even known today as pador, means baker in Portuguese language. What is the meaning of pador in Portuguese language? It is baker. So they were called as pador in Goa. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. So during our childhood, the writer says that during their childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend because all of us like these baking items, right? So these children, they like this baking items. So they were waiting for the pador. So he was their friend during their childhood. Then also the companion and also the guide. Okay, so they like very much the presence of whom? The presence of pador. Then he used to come at least twice a day. He used to come at least twice a day. That means he came, okay, he comes 2 times a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. Okay, in the morning he can be seen as going to sell the baked breads. Okay, then he is coming back. Okay, he is coming back emptying his huge basket. So he set out means he started his journey in the morning on his selling round. Then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. So at that time, the 2 times they can see the baker means the pador. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the love? Not at all. So, here comes an emotional touch. Why? The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from the sleep. So, we don't know the reason behind it. We woke up from sleep when we hear the jingling thud of his bamboo. Okay, we ran to meet and greet him. We ran to meet him and greet him. It's actually a pleasure. Okay, the sight of this pador gives us that much pleasure. Why was it so? Was it for the love for bread or the love of the loaf? No, not at all. It's really the love for that scene. Okay, scene of that pador who comes with this bamboo and with a huge basket. It's full of bread. The loaves were bought by some Pascan or Bastin, the maidservant of the house. Okay, actually the loaves were bought by some Pascan or Bastin. Okay, these are the Portugal words for the maid servants. Okay, Baskin and Bastin means the maid servants of the house. Okay, in Portuguese language, the maid servant is as Paskin or Bastin. They are going to buy it. The children are not going to buy it. Then what is the attraction behind it? What we long for were those bread bangles which we choose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread or special make. Okay, so why are we running to meet the payer when he came? Why we like to see or to buy that bread bangles? Bread bangles, that is what here in the picture. Sometimes it was sweet bread or special make. Okay, so it was literally translated to bangle. So in Konkani language, it is kankon. Okay, kankon, a distinctive ring-shaped bread that is popular all over Goa. Okay, so this kankon means this bread bangles that is there with our pager. So they want to choose it carefully. They want to have this sweet bread bangles. That's why he is running. They are all running to meet pager. So the baker comes with what? Comes with donut-like bread bangles. Okay. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo stuff. Okay, what is the meaning of stuff? Stuff means stick. Okay, jang jang means that musical sound that is produced by this bamboo stick that is in his hand. Okay, so he is coming with this sound. Okay, jingling sound of this bamboo stick. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. So how is he coming? How is he making his musical entry? Okay, with one hand he is supporting the basket on his head. Okay, that basket is full of bread, and the other banged the bamboo on the ground to attract the people to buy the bread. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. Okay, so when he comes and he would greet the lady of the house there with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. At this time, we would rush to that spot to see the breads and to see the payer. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke. What is the meaning of rebuke? An expression of disapproval or scolding. We would be scolded by the elders, and the loaves of bread would be delivered only to the servant. But we wouldn't give up. We, the children, wouldn't give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket somehow. Okay, what parapet means? A low protective wall along the edge of a roof, bridge, or balcony. Okay, you know what's parapet. Then, so we would climb there. Then from there, we would look at this basket. Then we would peep into the basket somehow. Okay, that much we were curious to see the bread inside the basket. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. What's the meaning of fragrance? The scent. Okay, the sweet smell of the loaves of bread. Okay, I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves after all these years. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Okay, we know which are the bread bangles. Okay, donut-like bangles especially for children, and loaves for the elders. Then we would not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. Okay, we were woken up by this jingling sound of the pager. Okay, so after that, without washing our mouth, without brushing our teeth, we were rushing to see the pager. But they have no problem. And why should we? For what are we brushing our teeth and cleaning our mouth? Who should take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? They had no time to waste for that, because who is waiting there? The payer is waiting there with delicious loaves of bread. They don't want to brush their teeth because the tiger never brushed his teeth. Who Trusty could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So the tiger never brushed his teeth, then why should we brush our teeth? We would have our hot tea, and with that our mouth would be washed and cleaned up. Okay, so that is their argument about it. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the bowl, just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread. Okay, marriage gifts. So, on those days, what was the special item among marriage gifts? Marriage gifts are usually on those days are meaningless without sweet bread known as the bowl. So, this is the special item among marriage gifts. So, it is given on parties or a feast. Okay, so without this bowl, they couldn't think of a party or a feast because it loses charm without bread. So, not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. So, the place of a baker is very much important. Okay, there are no words to describe it. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Okay, the lady must prepare sandwiches. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Cakes and bolinas. Bolinas means go and coconut cookies. Okay, that is there in the picture. So they are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. So baked items are must for any festive occasions in Goa. Thus, the importance of or the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. So he is there to prepare the marriage gifts, okay, sweet marriage gifts. Then the cakes and bolinas are prepared by the baker. So the presence or the importance or the place of baker in that village or in traditional Goan villages, it's very, very important and essential. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. Okay, have you seen it in the picture? Okay, such a dress was worn by the baker or bread seller of those days. It was a single piece long frock. It's just like a gown reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers. What are they wearing? A shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length. Okay, and once and longer than half pants. Okay, as just as in the picture, it's just like Bermudas. Okay, not shorter but not in full length. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a paidor. Then the baker, our paidor, usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Then monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Okay, he is recording everything on the same wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in all days. Okay, on those days, bakers were so happy with this family profession. The baker and his family never starved. Okay, it was really a profitable profession in those days, so they never starved. He and his family and his servants always look happy and prosperous. Prosperous they were, okay, with this profession. They were always happy and they were in a very prosperous condition. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Okay, it was so obvious with their plump physique. What is the meaning of plump physique? Pleasantly fat body. Okay, they are very fat. Okay, so their plump physique was an open testimony. Open testimony means, what is the meaning of testimony? Public statement about a character or quality. So from their appearance itself, it was very obvious that they were very happy and prosperous. Even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. Okay, so baker is always very fatty, pleasantly fatty. Okay, so he was always compared to a jackfruit. Okay, from this chapter, we have understood the important place of baker in his traditional Goan village. Okay, dears, we have gone through the chapter. Then now let's see the important questions under exam halls. I hope that you have all understood this beautiful chapter, A Baker from Goa. I'll be back with the next lessons in the coming videos. Stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.